Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for September 21st of 2025 is titled Equinox Sunset. So, what do we see here? Well, here we see pictures of the sunset, and in fact trails taking multiple images of the sun as it headed toward the western horizon on various days of the year. And what we can see is that the position of the sun would change over the course of the year. And only on days like today, which is an equinox, would it set due west. So we often say the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, but that isn't exactly true. It rises generally eastward, but that can vary, and the amount of variation depends on where you are located on Earth. If you're on the equator, the variation is the least, and if you're closer toward the poles, the variation gets to be larger and larger. And that's what we can see here. We can see that right now we are at the equinox, which would be the central point of this image, and that would be the sunset on the equinox, which is what would occur today from this location. And over the coming days, we could continue to watch it set, and we would watch it get farther and farther south of west. And that's going to mean it's making a smaller circle in the sky, signaling the coming of winter for those in the northern hemisphere. So it will get further and further south until the day of the winter solstice in December, at which point it would reach its southernmost sunset and then would start moving back toward the north again. So you would see a pattern with this if you watched it over the course of a year or over several years. You could watch the sunset as it changed position, going back and forth around the western point. Now, as I said, this depends on where you're located on Earth. And the farther north or south you go, then the more extreme this will get. And in fact, if you get far enough north or south toward the Arctic or Antarctic circles, you would find days where the sun never sets and where the sun never rises. Now, as I said, this is from a northern hemisphere perspective. So we are looking in the northern hemisphere. We are now going from summer into fall. In the southern hemisphere, the opposite is happening. While it will still be an equinox, and the sun would then rise due east and set due west, at this point then, those south of the equator would start experiencing longer days, with the sun taking a longer path in the sky over the next few months, which would be the opposite of what happens in the northern hemisphere. And that's what gives us the opposite seasons. So for those in the northern hemisphere, we are in summer going into fall. For the southern hemisphere, we are in winter going into spring. So that was our picture of the day for September 21st of 2025. It was titled Equinox Sunset. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be Equinox on Saturn. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.